The film program at Carleton is a great place to study all aspects of cinema as an art form, as an industry, but also as a cultural phenomenon.
We consume them everywhere now, not simply in the traditional, movies.
It's become very much a media literacy course rather than just film and cinema and watching movies. It's moved so far beyond that.
Looking at television, looking at web series, digital media.
We are in the age of a profusion of images.
If it's a moving image, then we're interested in it.
If you are able to read any film as a text to understand the society, the history, the ideology that film is coming from.
It's so much more than entertainment. It's a tool to understanding humanity.
Film Studies at Carleton is one of the oldest programs in Canada. It has a depth of expertise and a wide range of interests among its faculty.
At Carleton, we offer a diversity which is second to none across the country, I would argue.
We have people who specialize in everything from African cinema to Japanese cinema to cinemas of globalization to Indian film.
Gender and sexuality in film.
New media, how it works and how it has been changing.
Mexican cinema, Latin American cinema.
And film history in the United States and Scandinavia.
You see films from everywhere from Burkina Faso to Estonia.
Documentary, film theory, film history of course, film sound and film color.
From Bollywood to Nollywood, the Nigerian film phenomenon.
We are committed to the idea of the radical equality, if you will, of all cinematic traditions, and we try to teach them and approach them, study them as such.
We present films from all over the world and we try to introduce students to cultures through the film production of different nations.
Ottawa is a really great movie town. There's a lot of interest in international cinema here.
There are two repertory cinemas, the Mayfair and the Bytown, and they screen all kinds of films outside of kind of commercial mainstream fare.
We have a Canadian Film Institute.
Canadian Film Centre, Saw Gallery, IFCO. A lot of the people that work in these institutions did their degrees at Carleton, so there's a nice relationship between Carleton and a number of these institutions.
A lot of film festivals that go on in Ottawa.
Things like the Latin American Film Festival or the Nordic Film Festival.
The Animation Festival is here.
Last year, a professor in the department took a bunch of students to Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso was probably one of the most amazing things I've ever done in my life.
It consisted in taking Carleton students to Burkina Faso, where some of the major institutions of African cinema are.
It's not an opportunity that you really can find anywhere else.
Traveling itself is a fulfilling experience, but when you're doing that and learning at the same time, it's really just the most enriching thing you could possibly do.
Our practicum is one of the most appealing aspects of our program. This gives a chance for students to work out there in the film industry in Ottawa and beyond.
So you get experience in programming, you get experience in promotion.
The field of cinema in Canada is very broad, and we try to introduce our students to all the options of employment that are available to them after they graduate.
Just getting that practical experience is so valuable in a university education because I feel like it's so rare in so many programs, especially arts programs.
We have a lot of amenities that other universities might not have.
We're bringing more people to campus than ever. More visits from filmmakers, more visits from scholars.
The Carleton campus, it's a very diverse and very supportive community. The program here is just so wonderful.
It's a very enabling environment for any student.
It's a brilliant, brilliant program.
Ottawa and Carleton specifically is an amazing place to study film.